In lieu of having an LRT stop directly at Mount Royal University, students and the rest of the campus community were offered a bus rapid transit, which runs between Heritage Station, MRU, Westbrook. Currently, the BRT runs at 25 to 30-minute intervals. Not really all that rapid, especially to those students who have to take multiple buses and trains from across the city. The question is, what can you do to ensure students can access bus service to get them to school in a reliable and timely manner? And Mr. Frisch, you have 2 minutes to respond.
I would add that schedule itself is very frustrating. I live in this area, and I understand the 30-minute lag, especially when you've got a student body trying to make connection to Westbrook Station. I think the frequency needs to be looked at, and it needs to be either increased at certain peak hours, which is something that I know that is being done at this point. But it's definitely something that we need to do. Now, how is that going to improve? It should with the frequency, but again, we are at kind of a spur here. We have to transverse and get back and forth to Westbrook. This university is a great public institution. I think at some point we have to look at where, and this is definitely way in the future, but where we're going to have this tie into some kind of more real LRT system. That could be 20 years, that could be 10 years out, but it's definitely something that we need to look at.
All right, thank you. All right, and the same question to Councillor Pincott. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Well, thank you. And first off, I want to thank the Students Association, the Student Union, for the 306. Actually, the reason, and I don't think people know this, the reason that we have the BRT now that opened in December to Mount Royal is because back in 2007, the Student Union got involved in the election and they talked to me about how crappy transit is here. And when we had the debate at council around the LRT and the LRT routing, I tried to get the LRT to actually come down to Mount Royal rather than heading out west, and I failed, and I was the only one making that pitch. Now a lot of people are talking about it, but nonetheless, that's okay. I said at the time it was the booby prize. I got the 306 embedded into the West LRT project so that the moment the West LRT opened, we had bus rapid transit to Mount Royal. So we've got that because of you guys, because of the Student Union. We now need to increase the service. We need to increase the frequency. Every half hour doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't go late enough at night, doesn't start early enough in the morning. So we need to do that. We need to work together to increase the ridership here at Mount Royal. We need to do that. We also need then to make the pitch to Calgary Transit and then to City Council to be able to fund it, to be able to actually put the money in place to increase the service, because ultimately that's what it boils down to. We need to put the budget allocation to it. So I think that working together, the Student Union and I, working together to make sure that we're increasing ridership, we're maximizing ridership on the 306, and then we can go to the city, to Transit and Council and say, you need to fund this. We're using it. You fund it.
All right, thank you much, Councillor Pincott. And did I hear a chip go into the cup? That belongs to Mr. James Maxim. Sir, you have 1 minute.
I guess I'd like to go back in the sense that I remember in 2010 at the election, in the auditorium, the same question was asked about the bus system. And I'm very glad to hear that the bus system has started up. But we're a city of the future, and why not be dynamic, and why not go forward and build a leg of the LRT to Mount Royal University? Because I think this university is going to be here for the next 100 years. And right now we have the lowest interest rates, there's good debt, and why not build it now and use it now and pay for it over a period of time? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And it looks like Councillor Pincott wants a minute to expand on his answer.
Sure. I just transit is something that grows. We've got a BRT service here. We need to make sure that we're maximizing it. To spend a couple of $100 million to get the LRT down here as a spur line just doesn't make sense right now. Doesn't make sense. It's not fiscally responsible to actually say, let's spend $200 million to get down here at this point. Putting it in the West LRT when we did it made sense, but actually building $200 million spur line now doesn't make sense. We need to be fiscally responsible. We need to actually maximize the service that we have right now. We need to make it work for the students, and then grow it over time as the area grows, as we take a look at the growth of Mount Royal over the next 10 years, the growth of Currie Barracks, the growth of Westmount Business Park. All of that will support increased transit, and someday, when it actually makes fiscal sense, we can run the LRT down here.